Hey Northwest, what's going on? This is Ronin Carney from MMASSmedia. I'm here at Visionary Martial Arts with my teacher, my friend, my mentor, and one of my heroes, I'd probably say, John Salami from Visionary Martial Arts here in Clackamas, Oregon. How you doing, John?
Fantastic.
I just want to say thank you for taking the time to talk to MMASSmedia.
No problem.
So you've done a lot of things in your life with being an athlete. You were an athlete yourself when you were younger, and you give back to the sport on many different levels of athletes. You started as a kid doing BMX, correct?
Yeah, started when I was 12 racing BMX.
So how did you go on your path of doing BMX and mountain biking? Because you mountain bike as well.
Yeah,
correct?
I did that for many years.
How did you follow that path into like sports therapy, massage therapy, agility stuff, strength and conditioning, and dietary stuff within athletes? How did you follow that path?
1984, I started training for BMX and trying to get better to be the best. I always wanted to be a professional BMXer. So there's two levels of BMX. There's a B Pro and an A Pro. My dream was A Pro. I want to be the best. I want to be rad. So by doing that, I would go to my friend's house. I'm like, all right, we're working out today. What are we doing? And I was like, I don't know. So I would have to come up with workout plans for all my friends. And then that was just years and years. That was 84. I started doing that. And then eventually, you get a good reputation. Like, man, if you want to get better, you got to go see Salami. He'll take care of you. So now I'm taking care of all the high school. So then it's all the BMX pros would come to me. Oh man, you guys are. How are you doing all this? So eventually, it went from like my friends to all the way. I worked with the U.S. national team. I lived in Italy, so it went from like me helping my friends to eventually working for the country, the United States.
How was that? Like living in another country, being an ambassador for America. Like how was that?
It's okay. There's some countries that don't like us. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I know all about
you know
that.
this
Yeah,
as well.
I know exactly.
So yeah, it was fun. I went over there doing massage work. I've been a massage therapist for 17 years. So I went over there and was like, all right, I'm just gonna live over here for a while, check it out. I had raced over there a lot, and it's so different. And there's no jiu-jitsu over there. At that time, there wasn't. So I would travel with these bike teams, and I would look at all the magazines and books. I had VHS tapes sent to the hotel, so when I got there, I could study technique.
VHS.
44. So, and Pistol Pete Lonkarovich, he's in Medford. He has his own legend at BMX. So he's my hero as BMX. Then he starts racing mountain bikes. I start racing mountain bikes, and he's like, "Well, what do you got? What are these VHS tapes?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's jiu-jitsu." He goes, "I do that." And I was like, "Come on, really?" And he goes, "Yeah, I do that." So he got me into jiu-jitsu in 1997 with Joe Moreira when I was living in Los Angeles.
If you don't know, folks, Pistol Pete has a school down in Medford, which is legendary for Oregon. I know a lot of people come up here and they're all about Team Quest, Fabiana Scherner, but down in Southern Oregon, it's all about Pistol Pete. So how did your relationship develop with Pistol Pete and like him being your teacher?
Well, he was a hero of mine through BMX, and then he raced mountain bikes, so we would always be doing techniques with each other on the road because we didn't have schools. But I would also bring my gi on the road wherever I went. I stopped at Pedro Sauers for a while, Claudio Francis. So I would just be this traveling guy going to different schools while I was on the road. And you're only on the road racing for 8 months a year, so the rest of the time I would just go to Joe Moreira's, and then Pete was there also, so it was great to have him as my hero from BMX all the way until now, So.
And then also too, you went over to Team Quest as well.
Yeah,
right?
I was an instructor there for 2 years, 2.5 years.
Now, when you went over there, did you change teachers and you had Fabiano as a teacher doing jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, he was my teacher for 2 years maybe, I think. Yeah, I got my brown belt through him. And then there was an opportunity to take over for another guy that wasn't really showing up at his gym. So,
and here we are.
And my passion is teaching. I mean, I've had to instruct guys with the street and agility and strength conditioning forever. I worked with motocross athletes. I worked with cyclists. I worked with BMX people, bodybuilders. So I've been around, and teaching is a passion, and I love it. And it's what I get up out of bed to do every day, is to change someone's life on the mats, off the mat, on their motorcycle, off their motorcycle. So it was just easy to, when I took over here, it was like, okay, here it is. This is the dream. Now I get to get my own place. So then I chose my two ultimate favorite affiliates, Eddie Bravo. So Ed, I was one of Eddie's original guys, and I always told him, man, LA is crazy. I don't like the people. I grew up back east. It's different. I want to have a school one day. And he goes, yeah, one day we'll do it. Well, now he has 32 schools. And I'm probably looking into getting my second school in the Portland area. So I had a meeting yesterday, so that's awesome. And I always wanted to be 10th minded. Then on the gi side of things, I always loved Alliance. These guys were cheering, they're maniacs. They have a whole section devoted to their team at the World Championships. So they're, they chant, they have a big flag, they're 6-time world champions, and Jacare Cavalcanti is the nicest guy in the world. He's a red and black belt, so he's beyond black belt. So I just had to have both those guys. I love the way their teams are. They're great with people. You call them up, they'll call you right back. I've never called Eddie, and he hasn't gotten back to me in 10 minutes, like since I've known him. That's incredible. And I met him before he had a 10th Planet. He was a strip club DJ, but of course I met him outside of that. I met him outside eating. So I always wanted to have those two together. So it's nice to finally get my two favorite schools together.
And now you've included, and you've branched out as well with one of your students who is a certified Sambo instructor as well.
Yeah, Vladimir Novikov is a certified Sambo instructor. So we have Sambo here at Visionary Martial Arts. So we have gi, no gi, Sambo. I just want it to be a great place to come where it's fun. I'm in my 15th year of Jiu-Jitsu, and I went to a lot of schools where it wasn't fun. I was like, oh, that guy's going to be there putting his forearm across my neck, and he hates life, and he's going to hate me, and I don't want to do this. So we have a policy here where if a person has problems from another school, we're like, oh man, we're full. We can't have you. So if you guys ever get that, sorry, but that's you. I sent him home right away, like, oh, we're full, we're capacity. Fire code says we can't have more than 60 members. You got to get out of here. Because I want it to be fun. It's hard enough to come in here if you're arguing with your boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, or husband. You got to come in and fight. One, you want to have fun doing it. Like, why would you want to stress sitting in traffic to get here? Then you're mad at her or him, and you get here, then this guy's putting his forearm on your neck and doing a can opener. Come on, really? Let's make it fun, please. I took the colander of jiu-jitsu and I shook it up. I'm like, oh, that's we'll throw that away, and all the cool stuff fell in. And that's what Visionary Martial Arts is. It's a fun place to be.
A line that you are famous for saying every day, throughout every day, I hear it once or twice every day, is it's got to be fun. Say it's got to be fun. Right. So it's 70% technique, 30%
comedy.
Yeah,
exactly. Well, I've used that for bits. It's been a while. Use onward and upward too.
Yeah, onward and upward. That's another one
it's,
too.
I make it fun. I hung around a lot of comedians in my life, and this is where I get to use my stand-up, But I want to make it fun. Like, I've been around traditional schools my whole life, and it's like, you're not allowed to talk. You're not allowed to have a voice. If you think you have a technique or a different way, you're not allowed to say crap. If you're late, you got to do push-ups and sit-ups. Really, come on. We just want to come in and have fun. So I totally pride myself in the fun. And anyone that's ever taken my stuff has been like, it's fun. The guy was laughing. He's making fun of that guy. And it's a family fun atmosphere. And it's hard enough to fight every day, And if your teacher's angry at his wife and he comes in and takes his belt off and is whipping you around or makes you do push-ups, or come on, let's just have fun. It's all about fun. So.
Tell us about your upcoming events. We have a couple of upcoming events involving the school and some of your gifted athletes here, namely your world champion and Vlad. So can you tell us about some of that?
Sure. On the 14th of January, we're going to have a women's self-defense seminar from 9:15 to 12:15. Women's, it's moms and daughters to come in. We're going to have some fat suits from the Clackamas County Sheriff, so you can beat on them. We also have, we have the Judo John benefit, which is going to be awesome. I was one of Judo's guys when I first moved here from LA. He's funny. He has a good look on things. We had great battles back and forth. He's now a black belt, which is great. I love to see that. We're having that. That's on the 24th of February.
25th.
25th. Thank you.
25th.
We also, February 4th, Fisticuffs has now a fight organization. Now we're going to have tag team grappling in a cage. I have 4 guys from 10th Line of Portland going to that. That's going to be awesome too. So I just had a meeting with Leonard about that last night. So that's a go. That's going to be at his gym in Vancouver, Fisticuffs in Vancouver. February 4th, tag team. It's also MMA as well, but man, I can't wait to see tag team grappling in a cage. I have 4 guys competing. Tyler Morgan, Nick McGraw. Nick's a local crusher. Vlad is my Sambo instructor, and Chad's my world champion. So it's going to be, we're taking on Impact. So if Mike Chapman's watching this, I love Mike. He's awesome. He's so fun to hang out with. He's a great guy. That's why I like the camaraderie we have in the battles that we can throw down with each other. So, and then we have Pans. We're getting ready for Pan Ams. The Pan Ams of Jiu-Jitsu is in March, so that's about 12 weeks away. Train hard for that. So lots going on. When you come here, it's a fun atmosphere, and you're going to train your brains out. I don't let people come in and just half-ass. You got to be pushed, but it's also fun. So it's 30% comedy.
So tell us about the contact information to your gym and how somebody would find information on wanting to join or check out a class or whatever.
I actually have a bunch of websites. VisionaryMA.com is our main site. We also have 10th Planet JJPortland.com and AllianceOregon.com. So lots of ways. Also 818-516-5927 is the gym number. You can give us a call and come down. 2 free classes, and you're guaranteed you're going to laugh, or else I'll give you your money back. The weight is free anyway. So yeah, come on down. 2 free classes.
All right, folks, this is Ronin Carney from Visionary Martial Arts, as you saw, with John Salami. Thank you for taking your time, John. I appreciate it. You stay classy, Northwest.